Hi. Yeah, I'm back. I know the last video I made was like almost 2-3 months back, and I'm really sorry about that. I have read a lot of books lately, but I had exams going on until last Feb. Yeah, okay, that's like literally just last month. And yeah, it was a very long affair, very traumatic affair, but like we're over it, and I've read so many more books, and there are so many more things that I want to talk about. Yeah, so in this video, I want to talk about like the book that I just finished reading today. It's called Evenings and Weekends by by Oisin McKenna. I read an ebook because the book was pretty expensive, and it's also a very recent book. So I think this is one of the first times I'm reading a book that's that early out in publication. And yeah, I really liked the book. I wouldn't say it was like good. I would actually say it was very good. I really enjoyed reading it. I finished it in like 3 days, 3 or 4 days. And yeah, it's quite an achievement for me to finish a book that fast. So I would say it's kind of like a page turner. It's really good. Now, the book is basically about a few characters. All of them are like above 30 years of age, so it's not your typical YA kind of book. And also, it's a really good book for if you're looking to read something for the Pride Month. It has a lot of mentions, and it also describes a gay relationship really nicely. Um, and yeah, it's about these characters and about their lives in London. It's set during the heat wave of London, so you need to keep that in mind because all the characters are so tense, and so it's something that's always in the back of the mind. Like you can like feel the tension, you can feel the heat wave, the heat that all these characters are kind of going through. So it was like really really nicely done in that aspect. And also it's like very like London centric. So in one of these reviews that I was reading, someone mentioned that if you're not from London, you're not gonna like get a huge part of the book because there are so many names, so many buzzwords, so many metro stations, train stations, I don't know, like all of that. So generally a reader who's not from London is not going to be able to exactly picturize whatever's going on in the book. But I did not feel that. I feel like generally the author has done such a good job in kind of talking about the details of each character's reflections and each character's thoughts about the place that they are living in right now or about their environments, that I can generally picture myself as someone who is in it. So I really enjoyed the book. I did not feel like, as someone who's never been in London or never like read about London in this much detail, like I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. So maybe yeah, like I don't think generally it's a con. And first, I'm obviously going to talk about what I really liked about the book, and the last few minutes are going to be for what I did not like about the book. But I think majorly, this is kind of like a win because it was a really good book. What else? Yeah, so it's about these characters, it's about their lives in London, and it's about the kind of things that it's mostly about their reflections and thoughts about their lives and events happening with them throughout the weekend and the evenings. So it's not about their jobs, it's about their personal lives, right? And it's about dating, it's about relationships, it's about open relationships, about relationships with your parents, with medical conditions, with yeah, basically like everything that comes in under the category of personal life is something that's described in this book. Basically what happens in the weekends and in the evenings. Yeah, something that I really enjoyed about the book, other than the fact that the author has done such a good job in minutely describing all the details and all the environments and all the thoughts and reflections of the characters, is the fact that the characters themselves are so enjoyable. Like I think there's something about all of the characters, something at least like something really real and really like vulnerable about all of these characters, that I think once you read the book you'll appreciate it too. The author actually has done a really good job in kind of describing all of the characters at least once in their most vulnerable states, so you genuinely learn to like empathize with them and kind of feel what they're going through. And I really think that was really good because see, most books they deal with like one two main characters and it goes on with their life, but this book it deals with like a huge array of characters, right? I literally had to make a post-it to like write down all of the characters, so, but where like eventually once you start reading it you kind of like understand what's going on. You don't need to like constantly refer to that post-it. I'll show you guys if I have it. Okay, it looks like I threw it, but okay, never mind. That's okay, but yeah, that's what I meant to say. There are so many characters, but the author still does a really good job in kind of describing all of the characters in a way that you're gonna find something relatable about them. So that was really good. That's something that I've not seen done in like other books that I've read, because most of the other books deal with like one or two main characters, and you tend to like some characters and dislike some characters. And I think this book didn't have any of that. I really liked all of the characters, and the plot, if you're questioning the plot, then I don't think this is a book to read, because generally as a reader myself, like I don't really think the plot is something that's supposed to be centric to a book. I really enjoy the writing, I enjoy reflections, I enjoy the way the author tries to communicate what they experience in their life in the form of characters. So I generally don't really care about the plot unless I'm reading something which is like in that genre, like crime, thriller, suspense, horror. Like that's when I care about the plot, but not in these kind of books. These are like slice of life kind of books, and that's kind of like something that I really enjoy reading, because like life is just so fast paced in general, and I like reading books which are slower and which are more reflective, because that like gives my mind some time to like relax. So yeah, this is plot wise, it's like an okay book. Like you can predict the plot if you start reading it. So I don't think this is a book you should go for if you were looking for like a lot of dynamics per se. So yeah, that's there. And towards the end, it does take a kind of a dramatic turn, but I think if you read the book from the beginning and you understand the characters, you can predict that as well. So yeah. And also because it is set in, I think the early I think it's set in 2019. It's like a very realistic take. Smartphones, Instagram, social media, news outlets, like everything is just so like relevant to today's times. You would feel kind of like very attached to the characters because of that as well, because of how realistic it is, right? Yeah. And yeah, so that's what I think I generally liked about the book, and that covers all the points, I guess. If you're looking for a book to read just like over the weekend or something, you can just pick this up. It was a really good one-time read. Coming to what I did not like about the book, there are very few points, so it's not going to be that long. The main thing that I did not like about the book was that it is written in a kind of manner that reminds me that I'm watching like a TV show. So yeah, it's like London. You know how Friends is set in New York, so this feels like a group of people in London, and I'm just following all of their lives. The book, each chapter basically has different POVs of all of these different characters, and it kind of cuts off somewhere in the middle, and then it introduces another character's POV about their situation, which is completely different from the part that you were reading. So it does get a little bit annoying, and this is why I don't like it when, you know, they introduce so many different POVs and they cut it off at like different random sections, and they pick it off like somewhere after like one or two chapters. So it gets a little bit annoying, especially because this book has so many characters that you will find it a little difficult in the beginning to figure out what's going on where and who is related to whom and all that. So yeah, that was like a little, I think, a little bit of a disadvantage. The book was also written in a way like it's similar to a TV show. Like when you're reading it yourself, I don't know if it's just me or like if genuinely people feel it this way, that, you know, whenever I'm reading other books, like books by Anne Tyler or like, I don't know, Steph Penny or some other recent book that I've read, it plays out in my head like it's a movie. Like, you know, it's a continuous sequence of events, and like it's slow paced and something that's just going on in time, right? But this book, it feels like it's a TV show, right? It feels like it's a sitcom, and like this episode gets over, okay, I realize it, and then it goes on to the next episode. I don't know, it just feels like I'm reading like something that is just going to be made into a TV show. Like I feel like it would be a really good TV show if they do make it, but I don't like that feeling when I'm reading a book, because I'm reading a book because I don't want to watch a TV show, right? So, but I think this is a very like nuanced take. I don't think most people are going to find it this way. I think it's something that's very personal. And also, like, I kind of googled the author and I realized that this person is a screenplay writer. So I think it comes off from the book because of that. But yeah, I think this is very specific to me. Excluding that, any other critique, if I had to make, would be yeah, about the problems that some of these characters have, right? Like there's a reason I don't read YA or like rom-coms, because because in rom-coms and YA books, the majority of the problem that the characters are facing is because of communication. Like, they have communication issues and they sort it out later in the book, and that is like the biggest plot point, right, in rom-coms. That is why I don't like reading rom-coms, because I'm genuinely a person who would get annoyed if you have communication issues. If you have the person sitting right in front of you, then just sort it out there. Like, that's what my brain says. So I'm a little defective that way. I can't read rom-coms because of that. But this book, like, one of the couple in the book, I think, has this problem, and it goes on throughout the book. So, like, you can like feel it. You can feel it when you're reading it. Like, that these people are so close to each other, they understand each other so well. Why can't they just sort out their problem and just be happy? And this goes on throughout the book. Only towards the end, like, they decide to talk about it and they sort out their issues. Like, not completely, but at least they talk about it. So I found that a little bit annoying, because that was also specifically because I don't like that genre. I don't like it when you drag on an issue just because of communication and problem. But that was just like one subplot, so that's fine. Like, other than that, the book was quite good. And other than the whole POV thing, just fluctuating between different characters, I think it was a good read. Like, I think once you start reading it, once you're in the middle, you really want to get to the end, because you want to know what else these characters are thinking and what their thoughts and reflections about the future events are going to be like. So it's kind of like a page turner that way. You can finish it early. Yeah, I think that sums up whatever I thought about the book. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I think I have read so many books this week. I really want to make a video about all of them. I will see you guys soon.